La Yasha'ala. It's close. All right, so we're going to rise and face the east and send up the prayers. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Thabaa, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawo, Haya, Bashamayim, Lethundanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafinawa, Wala'a, Thabaya Ayanawa, Banasayawan, Abod, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Waha'ala, Wahathaparaf, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. And in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Second prayer, the Haka, the power. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh, Babakushah, Nathan Lanawa, Haka, Haka, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Haka, Lataha, Hamatazarayim, Haka, Lahakuyim, Hamathium, Haka, Arukawaf, Hatama'ala, Lagarishan, Bahashem, Yahweh, Thawada, Aman. And in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh, thank you, and so be it. Third prayer is the blessings. Barakatha Yahweh, wa Yahweh, wa Mayaka'ala, wa Alahayim, Mata Zabiyah, Ala YAHANNA, Ha Ala Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kaliyayam, Wa Akwafim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Thawada Aman. And in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121. Asha'a Ayanya, Al-Hahayim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shemaka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashun, Sharumah, Yashra'ala, Yahweh, Shemaka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ayikayaka, Wayarak, Belayla, Yahweh, Yashemaka, Makal Rai, Yashema, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashema, Taza'athka, Wabawa'ayaka, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid Iwalam. Amen. And in the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83. Alahayim, al damayalaka, al thakarash, wa al thashakwat, al kayahana, awab yaka, yahama yawan, ra'ash, il imaka, ya ira yamwa, sawada, wa yatha, ya aitazawa, al tazar pawanyaka, amawa, lakawa, wanakakidam, magaya, wala ayazaka, sham yasha'ala, Kaya, Na'aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Bayath, Yakarathwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wa Yashima Aliyam, Mawa'aba, Wa Hagayam, Gabal, Wa Aimawan, Wa Aimalak, Palashaf, Aim Yeshabya, Tazawa, Gum Ashawa, Nalawa, Aimam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanyalawat, Salah, I.S.U.P.K, Kamadian, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabyan, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayan Dara'a, Hayawa Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nadayamawa, Ka'irab, Wakazahaba, Wakazabak, Wakatazalmanai, Kaunasayakamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Nayarisha, Lanawa, Af, Na'awaf, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Thaba'aya Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Thalahat, Hayam, Kan, Tharadakma, Basa'iraka, Wabasa Wapafka, Thabalaham, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabaalwa, Aidai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al-Kaha Arataza, Aman. And in the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabor, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Horeb and like Zayed. Yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth for wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it. And the curses Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishments and destruction to the heathen that speak against us. Thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school send evils and curses, and punishments and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishments and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Pastor the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as they speak thy word. Call it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Call it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Call them to shake at thy coming in the name of Yahweh. Thank you always, and so be it. And with that, you're going to be seated. All right, then, so we're going to get back in the law in the book of Deuteronomy. So 1 second. All right, so Deuteronomy. So let's get my Torah. All right, Deuteronomy 17. Deuteronomy 17 and 13 in the Hebrew. Wakal ha'ain yashamaywa wayarawa wala ya zayadawa iwad kaya thaba al harataza ashar Yahweh Alahayaka Nathan Lak Wayaraash Tha'a Yawabatha Ba'a, Wa Amarath, Ash, Yama, Ila, Malak, Kakal, Magayam, Ashar, Sabai, Yabath, verse 15. Shawam, Thashayam, Layak, Malak, Ashar, Baka, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Bawa, Makwarab, Ak, Yaka, Thashayam, Layak, Malak, La'a, Thawakal, Lakak, Layak, Ayash, Nakaya, Ashar, La'a, Ak, Yaka, Hawa, verse 16. Rakwa, La'a, Yoruba, Lawa, Sawa Sayam, Wala, Yasha Yaba, Af, Ha'aim, Matazayim, Matazayima, Lama Aiwa, Hara Bawath, Sawasa, Wa Yahawa, Amar, Lakam, La'a, Thasat Wayan, Thasatwan, Lasha Waba, Badarak, Hazar, Iwad, verse 17. Waya, Yaroba, Lawa, Nashayam, Wala'a, Yasa, Wara, La Babawa, Waka Sawap, Wazahab, La'a, Yaroba, Lawa, Ahmad, verse 18. Wahaya, Kasha, Bathawa, Ail, Kasa, Mamalaka, Thawa, Wakathab, Lawa, Ath, Mashana, Hathawa, Ra'a, Haza'ath, Ail, Sapa, Ma Lapanya, Haka, Hanayam, Halawam, verse 19. Wa Hayaha, Aimwa, Wakwa, Ra'a, Bawa, Kal, Yamaya, Kai Yayawa, Lamaiwa, Ya Lamad, Layara'a Af Yahawa, Alahayawa, Lashama Af, Kal, Dabaya, Hatha Wara, Hazar Af, Wa'af, Haka Kwayam Ha'ala La'ai Shatham, verse 20. La, that is Labal Faya Rawa La Babawa Ma'a Kayawa Wala Bala Thaya Sawo is Man Hama Tza Wa'a Yamayawa Washa Ma'al Wala Lama'aiwa Ya'arayan Yamayam Ayl Mama Laka Thawa Hawa'a Waban Yawa Bakwarab Yashra Allah. So we're going to read Deuteronomy 17 and 13 now in the English. Deuteronomy 7 and 13. And all the people shall hear and fear and shall do no more presumptuously. So, if you was in the previous classes we did, talking about people that sinned against the Lord and their punishment was the punishment of death, meaning people heard them dying and that would make them fear. They would see that and go, "Oh, I'm not doing that. I've seen how this person died." You're meant to hear the screaming and the yelling in pain. You're meant to hear and fear and go, "Listen, I'm not doing no more presumptuously." Now, the word presumptuous means what you want to do, what you think is right. Meaning, in our land, we had a way to live, rules to follow, guidelines to obey, and anything you wanted to do, that was presumptuous. You know what I mean? So the Lord had a way of getting presumptuousness out of us. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the other nations that are round about me. So, meaning, one problem we have as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is we want to be like the other nations. And what the other nations have kings, when we had the Lord that parted the Red Sea, we had the Most High God do all these things. But the Lord, knowing us, knows that we're going to want to be like all the other nations. And we're going to want to put a king over us. We're going to want to put, someone prominent to be a king over us. Not because we think it's the best idea. It's because we follow all these other nations. And the Lord, knowing us, says, if you do set a king over you, then there's going to be some rules that the Lord is going to put in place. Reading on. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, who the Lord thy God shall choose. So the Lord's saying, if you want a king, fine. But guess what? It's going to be a king that I choose. It's not going to be a king that you want because he's rich, because, he's got a very nice personality. If you do have a king, then the Lord, he's picking that king. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Right, there we go. All right. So, as I was saying, so meaning the Lord, He chose our kings because, you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are a very carnal race of people. You know, it's not a sin, but does it benefit us all the time? No. Meaning, you like someone because of how they look. You know what I mean? You don't go by what this person does. It's more by how they act like. Like one example, when Deontay Wilder, he fought Tyson a Fury, I believe it's the first time. And at the press conference, you know, he was flipping. And people thought that he was going to, no, the second fight, sorry. People thought he was going to win because of how he acted at the press conference and not on the boxing. And that's how we are as a people. We're very visual and how you act and how you know what I mean, portray yourself. That's what we base our choices on. So the Lord's saying, if there's a king, I'm going to choose him. And we have a king. His name is Christ, man. YAHANNA, HaMashiach, for those that don't know. But reading on. One from among thy brethren. So the first rule is a king has to be from your brethren, man. A king has to be an Israelite like how you are. So you can't have some heathen be some king over you, man. You know what I mean? A king can't be some heathen from another nation. And that's what we would do. In our carnality, we would put heathens over us. And if you don't believe me, we do that today, man. You know what I mean? In all aspects of life, we would rather a heathen rule over us. Even in the music industry right now, DJ Khaled is what? We've set him up as king. DJ Khaled is a millionaire of black people supporting him, black people making collaborations with him. We would do it. You mean anything in life, even in religion, in Christianity, the highest ranked vicars and imams and sheikhs, they're other nations. They're not us. We don't get in there and go, you know what? Nah, man. For black people, I should be the voice in the mosque for black people. We submit it to an Arab, man. We let an Arab dictate what we should do. We let a European and oppressor tell us what we should do. And that's what we would do. So the Lord's saying, listen, any king that I'm choosing, he's going to be of your brethren. I mean, he's going to be your kinsman. He's going to be someone from your race. Let's read on some more. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. There you go. So the Lord's saying, listen, anyone who's a stranger cannot be a king over you. Anyone that's not your brother, listen, they do not qualify to be a king over you. You know what I mean? And that's something that we got to understand. We got to stop looking up to other nations. When the Lord says real kings come from your people and not from another nation of people. All right, reading on. Thou shalt, read that already, verse 16, but he shall not multiply horses to himself. Now, I'll explain what this means. Nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord have said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. So meaning this king, his job is to put confidence in the people. Now remember, we've left Egypt, and many of us, you know, being enslaved in Egypt for so long, our confidence was in Egypt. So the Lord's saying, this king, his job ain't to make us go back to Egypt. Like, listen, like, times are hard. I'm going back to Egypt. So this king can't multiply many horses so that what? He goes, guys, come on, let's all jump on these horses and let's go back to Egypt. This king is meant to deliver us from Egypt, man, from the comfortability that Egypt had. Reading on. Verse 17, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. So this ain't saying a king can't have multiple wives. A king can't have multiple wives that his heart turns away. Meaning what? Instead of him fulfilling his duties as a king, his mind's occupied on all his wives and the kingdom is falling, man. You know what I mean? So this ain't saying a man can't have more than one wife. It's saying that he can't as a king if it's gonna, make him turn away from his service to the Lord, to his obedience to the work that he must perform. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. So does that mean a king can't have silver and gold? No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is he can't be focused on just silver and gold and not focusing on his duties in his kingdom. And it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom that he shall write a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests and the Levites. So meaning what? As a king, he had to write a copy of what the Levites had, which was the laws, statutes, and commandments. Verse 19, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all his words, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren. So meaning the whole point of him reading this law is so that this king doesn't think he's above us. Because that can happen where being a king, telling people what to do, subconsciously that king could get lifted up where he feels like, listen, man, I'm above him. I don't have to fear God. I'm the king. And listen, the only way that is not going to happen is if he keeps on reading the law and it's always in his mind and he learns to always fear the Lord. And that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. So, with serving the Lord, you are going to prolong your life, meaning you are going to have a longer lifespan. And let that sink in, man. We grew up in Handsworth, Aston, Mosside, Tuxteth, all these areas where we are dying young as a race of people, man. We're dying at 16, 15, 20s. You know what I mean? And the Bible is saying if we fear the Lord, we will have a prolonged life, meaning what? A very long lifespan. And listen, man, we can get it. Although we're dying young, there's something you can do, man. There's something I can do and do it. What the church has done. The church has taken away accountability. The church has taken away options. In the church, they teach you manifest destiny. You know what I mean? They teach you, well, God knows what you're going to do, so why even try? And that is a lie, man. In the Bible, you're going to read about a king called Hezekiah, and Hezekiah was meant to die. Isaiah, the prophet, went to Hezekiah and said, listen, you're going to die. Write your will, order your family. And guess what? Hezekiah prayed and he fasted. And guess what? Isaiah came back to Hezekiah and goes, you know what? Because of what you did, the Lord's giving you 10 more years. It might be a bit more. But the point is, the Lord gave him more life. And guess what? Hezekiah did things to get those 10 more years. So meaning what? You can do something about it, man. In Nineveh, when the Israelites were there, they fasted and they prayed, man. And the Lord did not destroy Nineveh. Meaning what? You can do something, man. It's not, well, you know what, the Lord knows I'm going to do it. Nah, man. The Lord will keep you alive if you don't do it. And guess what? That's a choice that you made. That's a choice that I made. And let me tell you something. Imagine if that flowed through Handsworth. Imagine if options flowed through Masside. Options flown through Liverpool, man. People go, well, listen, I don't have to sell these drugs and I won't get locked up. I don't have to stab this man so that I die next week. Imagine if accountability flowed through the black community, man. You know what I mean? It would be heaven on earth. All right, let's get back to it. Deuteronomy 18 and 1. One second. All right, Deuteronomy 18 and 1. La'ah Yahweh Laka Nayam Hala Wayam Kal Shabbath Laya Kalak Wanak La'ah Aim Yashra'ala Ashaya Yahweh Wanak Lathawa Ya'akal Wa'al. Verse 2. Wanak La'a Yahweh Lawa Ba Qarab Akiwa Yahweh Hawa Nak Lathawa Ka Asha Daba Lawa. Verse 3. Waza Yahweh Ma Shapat Haka Nayam Ma'ak Ha'aim Ma'af Zabakya Hazabak Shawar Sha'a Wanathwa Lakahawa Hazara'ai Wa'alak Yayam Waha Kwaba Ra'ash Yatha Daganak Thayarishak Wayatazar Arak Wara Shayatha Gazar, Tazar Anak, Thathawa, Lawa, Kaya, Bawa, Bakar, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Makal, Shabbat, Yakar, La'aimad, Lasharaf, Basham, Yahweh, Hawa'ah, Wa Banayawa, Kal, Hayamayam, verse 6. Wakaya, Ba'a, Ha, Lawaya, Ma Akad, Sha'ai, Rayak, Makal, Yashra'ala, Ashar, Hawa'a, Gara, Ga, Sham, Waba'a, Bakal, Awath, Napashwa, Al, Hamakwawam, Ashar, Yabaka, Yahweh. Verse 7. Washaraf, Basham, Yahweh, Alahayawa, Kakal, Akyawath, Ha, Lawayam, Ha'ai, Madayam, Sham, Lapanya, Yahweh. Let's read that in the English. Deuteronomy 18 and 1. Let's read that. Deuteronomy 18 and 1. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part, no inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. So meaning, many times in the Bible, you read about, you offer this to the Lord. It's a burnt sacrifice to the Lord. Really, it goes to the priest. So your bull offering, the priest eats it. That's sacrifice to the Lord, meaning for your sin offering, you give your best bull and a priest eats it. A priest makes jerk chicken and rice, man. A priest makes a curry goat out of it. That's the point. So when you offer it to the Lord is not eating your bull. He's giving it to the priest to eat that work in the name of the Lord. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he have said unto them, this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer sacrifices, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give them unto the priest, the shoulder and the 2 cheeks and the more. So in the law, when you give certain parts of an animal, really it's going to the priest. So all throughout Exodus and Leviticus and Numbers, where it says, you sacrifice this to the Lord, Deuteronomy 18 is letting you know it goes to the priest. You know what I mean? All right. The first fruit also of thy corn, of thy vine, and of thy oil, and the first of thy fleece of the sheep shalt thou give him. So even when you give heave offerings, wheat offerings, that's for the priest, so that the priests have grain, barley, you know what I mean, all agricultural substance. Verse 5. For the Lord thy God have chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he sojourned, and come with all his desire of mind unto the place which the Lord shall choose. So, okay, if there's a priest in the land of Benjamin and he wants to come to Jerusalem, that's where the Lord chose. For those that don't know, no one can stop this priest and go, listen, man, you stay over there, man. You know what I mean? We got enough priests over here, meaning a priest can work in any sanctuary he wants to. Then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren, the Levites, do, which stand there before the Lord. So meaning no priest can kick a priest out from, being a priest in another place. You welcome him, he's good to go. So that's the class, right? Imadium. We're going to rise and face the east. And the Lord's Prayer, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Melakwafka, Thabaa, Ratzayka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawor, Haya, Bashemayim, Nathunanawa, Lakam, Kal Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafdinawa, Wala'a, Sabaya Ayanawa, Banasayawan, Abod, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahathapara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. And in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Next prayer, the Haka, the power, Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahawashi, Babakashah, Nathanawa, Haka, Haka, Larpa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Haka, Lataha, Hamatazarayam, Haka, Lahakuyam, Hamathiam, Haka, Al Kawaf, Hatama Lagarishon, Ba Hashem, Yahawashi, the Wada Aman. And in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahawashi, thank you, so be it. Next prayer is the blessings, Barakatha Yahweh, Wa Yahawashi, Wama Yaka'ala, Wa Alahaya, Metazabiyah, Ala YAHANNA, Ha Ala YAHANNA, Ha Serenium, Ha Quatazayanium, Ha Kalyayalium, Wa Akwathium, Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahawashi, the Wada Aman. And in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahawashi, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi, thank you, so be it. We got Psalms 121. Asha'a Ayanya, Al-Hahayim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shemaka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawama, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemaka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ayikayaka, Wayarak, Belayala, Yahweh, Yashamaka, Makal Rai, Yashama, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashama, Taza'afka, Wabawa Ma'aitha, Wa'aid Iwalam. Amen. And in the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83. Alahayim, Al-Damayah Lakar, Al-Thakarash, wa Al-Thashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Wab-Yakar, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Imakar, Ya'ira Yamwa, Sawadar, Wayathar, Ya'itazawa, Altazar Pawanyaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magaya, Wala'a Yazakar, Sham Yashra'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'itazawa, Laba, Yakalwa, Al Yakar, Bayaf, Yakarafwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wa Yashma Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wa Hagaya, Gabal, Wa Imawan, Wa Imalak, Palashaf, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gom Ashawar, Nalawa, Aiman, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aishalahum, Kamadyan, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabyan, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayan Dara'a, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nadaya Mawa, Ka'ira, Wakazahaba, Wakazabak, Wakata Zalmanai, Kaunasayakamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Nayarisha, Lanawa, Af, Na'awaf, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Ka'ash, Taba'aya Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Thalahat, Hayim, Kanthara Datma, Basa Iraka, Wabasawa Pafka, Thabalahum, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shemka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabaalwa, Ai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya Atha, Shemka, Yahweh, Labalka, Al-Yawan, Al-Kaha Arataza, Aman. And in the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Horeb and like Zayed. Yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth for wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it. And the curses, blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishments and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishments and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishments and destruction to the Edomites and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, or the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, toxicomatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people, that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us. Like Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at thy coming in the name of the Yahushua. Thank you always, and so be it. It's gone. Right then. And with that, Akim, class dismissed. Yeah, it ran out of gas.